Thus it is that the duty of every householder to install the deity of the Lord at home and to begin the process of worshiping along with all of his family members. This will save everyone from such unwanted activities as going to clubs, cinemas, and dancing parties, smoking, drinking, etc. All such nonsense will be forgotten if one stresses the worship of the deities at home. Now try to understand. Why do people do all these nonsense things? They're bored. They have time on their hands. But if you start to worship the deity, you'll quickly find that the different ceremonies and different procedures of worship are a bit time-consuming. We're just worshiping the minimum. We make a little offering at lunchtime. We don't eat breakfast usually. And then in the evening we have our arti ceremony. We don't even do arti during the day, but yet we're fully engaged because we're serving the deity by spreading his glories all over the world. That's our main service. So we spend a lot of time preaching. That's also a kind of deity worship. Rupa Goswami further writes, "My dear foolish friend, I think that you have already heard some of the auspicious Srimad Bhagavatam, which decries seeking results of fruitive activities, economic development, and liberation. I think that now it is certain that gradually the verses of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describing the pastimes of the Lord will enter your ears and go into your heart." So everyone in this material world is foolish. We're all fools. That's why we're here. We wouldn't be here unless we were fools. So the process of devotional service is how to stop being a fool and how to get out of this material world, how to go back to the original spiritual world and spiritual identity. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that unless one has the ability to throw out, just like garbage, the fruitive results of ritualistic ceremonies, economic development, and becoming one with the Supreme, or salvation, or liberation, one cannot understand Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam deals exclusively with devotional service. Only one who studies Srimad Bhagavatam in the spirit of renunciation can understand the pastimes of the Lord which are described in the 10th canto. In other words, one should not try to understand the topics of the 10th canto, such as the Rasa Leela, love dance, unless he has spontaneous attraction for Srimad Bhagavatam. One must be situated in pure devotional service before he can relish Srimad Bhagavatam as it is. See, for example, in India, there are people who go around and they recite Srimad Bhagavatam as a professional engagement. They get paid and everything for this. And usually, to save time, they skip over all those troublesome first 9 cantos and they just go direct to the 10th canto, which is the pastimes of the Lord. Now, the problem with this is that, as stated in the first canto, that you can't understand Srimad Bhagavatam unless you are a pure devotee. And these people aren't pure devotees. So they really need to hear this. It's a warning. It says that don't try to relish the pastimes of the Lord unless you're a pure devotee. You won't get it. You will misunderstand. You will think that these are some kind of material activities, and then who knows, you may even try to imitate and so on. Uh-oh. Big trouble. So the first 9 cantos are there to gradually train us in devotional service so that we can understand the significance of Krishna's pastimes in the 10th canto. Or as Srila Prabhupada describes, this Srimad Bhagavatam is ontological education. And one has to go through the categories given in the first 9 cantos before he can relish the substance that's in the 10th canto. This is ontological language. Categories and substances. When you have an ontology is simply a bunch of categories that describe different substances and their relationships among those substances. And it says right in the second canto that the subject of transcendence is described as three transcendental substances, known as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Okay? So if you don't understand these three substances, all the qualities, all the different manifestations, the activities, and the interactions between these three transcendental substances and the whole class of related substances which are called the energies of the Lord. If you don't understand this very complex science, then you will never be able to understand the Lord's pastimes in the 10th canto. You will take it as an ordinary story or something like that. Somehow you'll misunderstand. You won't understand exactly that this is the absolute truth, enjoying his energies, which he has every right to do, but only he has the right to do. See? He is on a fundamentally different ontological platform than we are. So we can't imitate him. And if we try, it becomes sinful activities. So, read Srimad Bhagavatam from the beginning. Don't read the end first. That's bad. Very bad for your spiritual life. In the above two verses of Rupa Goswami, there are some metaphorical analogies that indirectly condemn the association of materialistic society, friendship, and love. People are generally attracted to society, friendship, and love, and they make elaborate arrangements and strong endeavors to develop these material contaminations. Wonderful. But to see the Sri Murtis of Radha and Krishna is to forget such endeavors for material association. Rupa Goswami composed his verse in such a way that he was seemingly praising the material association of friendship and love, and was condemning the audience of Sri Murti or Govinda. This metaphorical analogy is constructed in such a way that things which seem to be praised are condemned, and things which are to be condemned are praised. The actual import of the verse is that one must see the form of Govinda if one at all wants to forget the nonsense of material friendship, love, and society. In other words, it's sarcasm. Do you really want all of this material nonsense? Well, fine. Then don't go see the deity of the Lord. And just go right ahead on with all your stupid nonsense. Because once you see this form of Krishna, you'll forget all this nonsense. So, Srila Rupa Goswami has similarly described the transcendental nature of relishing topics concerning Krishna. A devotee once said, "It is very astonishing that since I have seen this personality of Godhead, who is washed by the tears of my eyes, there is shivering in my body, and he has made me a failure in executing my material duties. Since seeing him, I cannot remain silently at home. I wish to go out to him always." The purport of this statement is that as soon as one is fortunate enough to contact a pure devotee, one must be anxious immediately to hear about Krishna, to learn about Krishna, or in other words, to become fully Krishna conscious. So as soon as you come in contact with this science of devotional service, you should be like all over our site. Let me read all these books. Let me study all these courses. Wow, let me watch all these darshans, all these kirtans. Let me hear everything. Let me understand everything. Whew. You won't be able to execute your material duties properly. You'll become forgetful. Oh, I was supposed to be at work now. Oh, yeah, I was reading Srimad Bhagavatam and I forgot everything. Oops. Either wife or husband say, "Where's my dinner?" "Oh, sorry, I was chanting. I forgot to cook." It leads to all kinds of trouble. And I'm laughing because actually it's funny, All these things are simply distractions from the real life of devotional service. You might want to fix that fire. It's kind of going out. So when we forget about them, then that means we're becoming absorbed in transcendental life. And this is a good thing. This is a symptom of making advancement in devotional service. Huh? So one should actually, again, I'm reversing, see? Just like Rupa Goswami in his verse. He's praising that which should be condemned and condemning that which should be praised, right? So I'm reversing like in the same mood. Get it? Not really. Okay. Anyway, so if one becomes really advanced, you forget everything. Anyway, Hare Krishna. Srila Rupa Goswami. Similarly, there is a statement about hearing and chanting